What exactly does it mean when we talk about evolution, as in Darwin's theory of evolution? But before we answer that question, let's first look at what it is not. It is not change. Everything changes. Change can be good or bad, beneficial or harmful. It is not evolution as used most commonly. That would actually be intelligent design. The evolution of the computer or the evolution of the automobile include the word evolution. But these are the opposite of the word evolution as used in the theory of evolution. Why? Because the word used in these cases are strictly used in the same way intelligent design progression would be used. We probably hear the word evolution used in this manner 99% of the time or even more. So let's look at the term evolution as in the theory of evolution. First, the theory of evolution has nothing to do with small changes. This is called microevolution. Microevolution involves changes in a specific kind of organism, such as the size of a bird's beak, the color, or even the size of the creature itself. But this has nothing to do with evolution as used in the phrase, the theory of evolution. Unless these small changes could cause evolution of one creature to turn into a completely new kind of creature. Every evolutionist, creationist, and intelligent design advocate believes in microevolution. That is never debated. So, what is evolution as used in the phrase, the theory of evolution? It would be changes that cause one kind of organism or creature to change into a completely different kind of creature. If a dog had evolved into a horse, for example, then a series of so-called dorses would have been between the dog and the horse, called intermediate fossils. Darwin saw small changes in creatures and assumed that they would lead to a new kind of a creature. He admitted that the assumption was necessary for his theory to be true. Today, however, with billions of fossils that we can observe, there is no evidence that this macroevolution has ever occurred, although a few evolutionists often try to tell us otherwise. Botanist and evolutionist N. Herbert Nielsen admitted such. He said, "My attempts to demonstrate evolution by an experiment carried on for more than 40 years have completely failed. The fossil material is now so complete, and the lack of transitional series cannot be explained as being due to scarcity of material. The deficiencies are real. They will never be filled." Taken from The Earth Before Man, Part 2. Darwin himself understood the problems that the fossil record caused for his theory. He said, "Why then is not every geological formation in every stratum full of such intermediate links?" He continued, "Geology assuredly does not reveal any such finely graduated organic chain. And this is perhaps the most obvious and serious objection which can be urged against the theory." Taken from Origin of Species. Luther D. Sutherland exposed the problem in a letter from Dr. Colin Patterson. He said, I wrote to Dr. Patterson and asked him why he didn't put a single picture of an intermediate form or a connecting link in his book on evolution. Dr. Patterson now, who has over 1 million fossils in his museum, said the following when he answered my letter. I fully agree with your comments on the lack of direct illustration of evolution transitions in my book. If I knew of any, fossils or living, I certainly would have included it. I will lay it on the line. There's not one such fossil for which one might make a watertight argument. Dr. Colin Patterson. And these fossils are still missing today. In other words, the in-between fossils that are required for evolution to be true are simply missing. Later, we will look at some of the so-called intermediate fossils that have supposedly been discovered and explain the flaws in each.